Welcome to this edition of the Ultimate Combat Experience, episode 10 of who knows how many of the Ultimate Combat Experience's greatest knockouts. We've seen 9 episodes of knockouts from the start of the UCE, and we're working our way through the years, and now we've kind of made our way to a point in time where the Razor, Steve Sharp, was a fixture in this game, and a guy came along named the Bird Dog, and the Bird Dog's going to meet up with the Razor in your main event tonight. But we got a lot of stuff before we get to that, including some of your favorite fighters, Salvador Sanchez and the likes of him. We've got a lot of stuff on slate for you tonight. It's the Ultimate Combat Experience KO edition. Check it out. Started tonight with a couple of big ornery-looking guys. Joe Preston, they don't get any more ornery-looking than this, against a guy named Junior Salu, and Junior Salu did a little bit of knocking down his time. See him against Joe Preston. Check it out. Hey, Johnny, the last thing I want to do is make the people down there in Price mad at us. We've had a lot of tough fighters come from down there, the Strickland boys and a couple other pretty tough guys. So, you know, it's just a joke, folks. Don't get mad. Don't get mad. Don't call the city council.
This Joe Preston kid, it looks like a guy you don't want to make mad either. Like, this guy looks like he's been in a few fights in his time. He just looks mean.
He goes 6'1", 264 pounds. He goes by the moniker of Big Joe. And, you know, it looks like he's got something in his beard. That beard's been around longer than I've been around.
I tell you, that guy has been in some fights, Mike. I can just tell. You can sense it when you look at a guy.
You know, I've watched this thing for the last couple of weeks, and I don't know, I feel like I got something to offer and bring into the ring, man. I did the tough mans in different places. I just feel like it's time to come. It's been 2 years since I've been in the ring, and it's time for me to come back to the ring, man. Man, I'm just pretty much just a knucklehead, man. I train, I lift weights. I go to the CEU college down there, and I hit the BDAC all the time, man. So it's just train when I can and take care of my daughters. I'm a single dad, so it's basically all the things I do, man. I think intensity, man. I'm just gonna bring it to him, man. We're gonna bring it up and bring it up. So, and anybody down there from Price is thinks that I know there's some badass from Price. Bring your asses up here. Let's get it done.
You know, he comes out with his rough exterior. Pretty cool guy, though. I like this guy. He's really into this show, and it's nice bringing guys like this in here. But talk about a cool cat. This Junior Salu kid, he's a nice guy, man. He comes into my gym just super respectful, super nice. 6'1", 240 pounds, goes by the name of #1 Stunner.
The #1 Stunner. I tell you, this guy is a good guy, and I think he's going to bring something that has something to offer the Ultimate Combat Experience. He is a tough physical kid.
Shizzle.
I just want to come here and have some fun. You know, I love the sport, and I love to compete. So I'm here all out of fun. I'm not here to hurt nobody, and I'm not here to show off. I actually box, and I've been training with my dad, Marini from Orem, and my brother-in-law, Dwayne. So that's all I do. Just go up to the UCTC and train over there. I think, you know, if I win, it'll be just because, you know, I'm patient, I'm physical, you know. I'm focused, you know what I'm saying, and I'm pretty strong.
You know, he describes himself pretty well there. He is a real physical guy, but he's a patient, very quiet guy. So, I mean, if that translates into his fight game, he should be successful.
One blow by one of these guys could send you into the 4th row.
Look at the size of that Preston guy, man. He's a monster.
They breed him big in Price. It must be something in the water.
Knuckles dragging across the ring here now. A little bit of a slow start here. They're a little tentative here, getting things started, but, you know, I like to see that because these guys aren't just going to come in here and throw crazy shots. Maybe we'll see some good fighting out of this.
They look focused. You're right. Salu did say something about him being focused and him being patient, and you're right. He's just kind of waiting, playing the waiting game. Oof!
Oh, baby. Big punches there. Big punches there.
Haymakers.
You felt the wind in the 3rd row there, but you know what I like to see here is that you're actually seeing parry blocks and counter punches and straight punches here. So they both have a little bit of a good boxing background.
Well, Joe Preston said he did fight in a tough man a couple years back. Said he hadn't been in the ring in a couple years, so maybe he does have a little bit of boxing experience, more so than some of the other heavyweights we've seen.
Yeah, dropping his hands a little bit there, and maybe he was starting to see a little bit of fatigue. Cut a left hand there that sent him to the canvas and got cut on the top of his head. Lonnie Foster's going to call a little timeout here, take a look at the cut.
I think he's not even that. I think maybe he's just saying, hey, you can't strike a down fighter. I think Junior Sealu threw that punch when he went to his knee, but it wasn't unintentional. I don't think he meant to do it.
No, it absolutely wasn't. You know, they were in the act of fighting, and those things will happen. But Lonnie Foster is going to call our ringside doctor, Mark Hachimani, in to take a look at that. And just for those of you at home, it looks very bloody, but head wounds bleed a lot. That's just a little teeny little cut. And Joe Preston says, hey, nothing but a flesh wound.
That's
here.
right.
Let's
Just
get
put a
going.
little Vaseline on. Let's rock and roll. And they are, man. They're coming back out into it. I think shaving your head like that gives it a disadvantage to me.
Sometimes, but you know what? Maybe he should have stayed out because he just caught a right hand. The Junior Sealu says, hey, baby, I'm coming in here to take this thing over. And, you know, Joe Preston got cut on top of the head, but he got caught with a big right hand, sent him to the ground.
Wow. That shot landed. And that must be his dad right there that he said he trains with. And I think, there's Salvador. You can't miss that head.
Fathead Todd. There he is. See here in the Crush Combat Cam, brought to you by TrendLab.com, where some pretty good exchanges there. But that was the controversial punch you mentioned. It looked to me like he was just kind of in the act of fighting. It wasn't really blatant. But then, boy, when he came back in, he got caught with a shot and ended this fight early.
It looks like it put a little bit of mouse over Joe Preston's eye. He's got a little cut right there on top of his head and on his face.
Watch out, Lima Pule. The #1 stunner's coming for your title. As we mentioned, Junior Sealu getting it done, but now we're going to move into one of my favorite guys, my all-time favorite guys, Don Longmore. This guy was a really, really cool cat going up against the newcomer in the Prophet, Josh Vandiver.
I know one thing, Mike, just looking at these two guys, there's nothing light about these heavyweights. Josh Vandiver is a big boy.
That's actually was a typo. These guys are both heavyweights. Josh Vandiver is a big, tough, solid kid, and he actually came into this show with the right attitude. Last round, he wanted to fight Tim Peacock. He knew he was one of the best in the division and said, bring him on. So he's fighting Don Longmore tonight. If he wins, he's going to have a shot at Tim Peacock.
6'2", 200 pounds from Park City, Utah. And say what you want about getting beat up by a jump rope. That's a lot of body to be skipping rope right there. Let's see what he had to say about his matchup tonight against Longmore.
I think I like the pain, anger, hit someone and not get arrested for it. I think I let the rage take control. Don't think about it. Get in there and don't feel any pain. Because he ain't got a 1-2 punch like me.
Now, there's another guy you're keeping off the streets. You are doing a community service for the community here. Here's his opponent tonight. This guy always reminds me of a big old lumberjack. His name is Don Longmore, 6'2", 220.
Oh, he's a big kid, and his goatee scares the hell out of me. But, you know, we remember he fought Mafu last round, and Mafu twisted him up into pretzels. Didn't really get a chance to see how good he was because of the class of the competition. So we'll see how he does tonight against Josh Vandiver.
Here's what he had to say about tonight's matchup.
What motivates me is it's just a lot of fun. We tried it out and it was fun. It was a blast, man. That's it. It's just fun. I don't know what really makes me different from any other fighter. I just train hard, do a lot of running, a lot of cardio, keep my cardio up, and started down at the training center. The reason why I'm going to beat him is because I'm just going to beat him, man. That's all there is to it.
Not a lot of facial expression on the part of Don Longmore, and you could tell there's a little nervousness there before the fight as he bounced around a little bit.
Longmore is a very stoic-looking guy. You very seldom see any expression on his face, and perhaps that goatee hides it.
Ethan Andrews is our referee, checking in both corners in the first of 3 rounds. This one's scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds.
Oh, these are big guys, and you saw right off the bat, Vandiver landed a big punch and followed it up with a couple, and Longmore gives him one of his own.
Man, he's winding that thing up, and Longmore doesn't seem to know how to get out of the way of it, and he's eaten a couple of big shots already.
It's not a matter of whether someone's going down, it's when, and that happened right there. Vandiver landed a big right hand, and it doesn't look like Longmore's going to be able to come back from it.
I'll tell you what, Ethan looked right in the eyes of Don Longmore, and Longmore was just not home at the moment, so he waves his hand, and this one's over.
You see here in your Crush Combat Cam, brought to you by Z24 Television, home of the Ultimate Combat Experience, where, as I said, it wasn't a matter of if somebody was going down, it was a matter of when, and sure enough, Vandiver landed a big haymaker punch that sent his opponent to the canvas.
Boy, Vandiver was winding that thing up from way outside. And,
winding it up from Park City.
Finally hits him with one that knocks him down, and Longmore just was out. I mean, he was on his feet, but Ethan could tell by looking at him that there was nothing there. So, for the safety of the fighters, Ethan steps in and ends this one.
Oh, and you see a guy crumble like that, boy, you don't seldom expect him to get back up, and he didn't, and Josh Vandiver is moving on.
Yeah, I would think the big concern for Vandiver might be to see if he can go the distance with a tougher opponent.
Now, that's the first time we saw the Prophet, but we got to see a lot more of him. That wasn't the only knockout he got. He knocked a few people out. When we come back, we're going to take a look at some kickboxing knockouts when we come back.
Let him up! Hey.
Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. As promised, we're going to shift gears a little bit into kickboxing now. And these are a couple guys that did quite a bit of kickboxing in the show. Ever Gutierrez and Adam Abrams. Check it out. We're going to shift gears just a little bit. Going to go from the NHB to the kickboxing. A couple of first-timers, the Ultimate Combat Ring. Ever Gutierrez and Adam Abrams.
This Ever Gutierrez kid's biting off a little bit more than get you when he says he wants to fight Chago for his first fight.
Yeah, those are some big words, and let's see if we can get past Adam Abram first. Ever goes about 6 feet, 167 pounds. He's an independent fighter. Goes by the nickname of Chihuahua.
Chihuahua. He's coming in the ring. He looks like he's got a little bit. He's tall, out with 6 foot. He looks like he's got a little bit of a reach.
Yo quiero fight Chago.
Yeah, well, let's see if we can get past this Adam kid first, Mike.
I'm from Mexico and I've been training for about 4 months. And I watched this show like 5 months ago, so I wanted to try it. So I've been training hard and hopefully I'll win today. I've been sparring, running, punching the bag, some cardio, a little bit of everything. Hopefully my reach will help me a little bit. I'm a bit taller than him and I've been training hard.
Reminds me a little bit of that cartoon character from Speedy Gonzales, Slowpoke. Talks real slow, moves real slow. But Johnny Ritchie, he better not move slow. He's going up against a kid who looks like he's pretty yoked.
Yeah, this kid is yoked, Mike. This kid looks like he's been in the weight room a time or two.
Goes 5'9", 170 pounds, goes by the nickname of Rogue Warrior. And Johnny Ritchie, he is an imposing figure.
I like his haircut, Mike. It's slick and it's sharp.
One slick do. I'm telling you right now.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Well, it's just I've done martial arts my whole life, and it's time to get in the ring and prove what I got. So, just a lot of training with my buddy down at Rogue Warriors, and a lot of cardio, and just hitting it up with the bag. That's it. You know, I really can't make any predictions. The only prediction I can make is pain. I don't know what he does. I have no idea if he's a boxer, kickboxer. But I do know he's going to have to earn what he gets, so.
Well, there you go. That's one thing. This is a fight show, and he's predicting pain, so somebody's going to receive it. You know, when he grows up, he could be part of our film crew with that haircut.
With that haircut, you definitely ready to fit right in with Tino and Tony.
Yes, he sure would. We're going to get things started here. 2-minute rounds here in kickboxing as opposed to the 3-minute rounds in NHB. Ethan Andrews, your referee, is going to get them started here, and they're going to come out, touch gloves, and get things started.
Hey, he said he was trained at Rogue Warriors. Mike, have you ever heard of Rogue Warriors being a martial arts gym? What do they teach there?
I saw that movie once, wasn't it? Out a number of years back in the 80s, Road Warriors, right?
I think so. I'm not sure, but he says he trains with them, so maybe.
Pretty clean stuff to get things started here, though. His kicks and punches look pretty clean, but boy, he's taking a couple shots. I'll tell you what, the little Chihuahua got mad. You kicked him in the leg, and he's mad now. He came back and knocked you on the keister.
He's not slowpoke, man. That looked like a Speedy Gonzales. He ran over there real quick and laid a couple bombs on him, knocked him on his butt.
Adam Abrams got some pretty good offensive techniques, but I noticed in his interview he talked about, I've been punching the bags a lot. Well, bags don't punch back, and whoa, he's got some great techniques, but you've got to keep your hands up. You see right here, people get knocked out when you carry your hands down like that. Whoa, baby.
And he got him another one, a big left, man, right to the mouth, knocked him right on his can again.
And, you know, he set it up nicely. You see this kid, though, he's got some good offensive tools, but you got to get some ring time here, and you know, he's got to keep his hands up.
Well, there's no better way to do it than really get in here and do it, right, Mike? You can sit and train in the gym, but it's not like the experience that you get if you come in here and do it for real.
Well, especially if you're just punching bags for your training. And it looks like, we hate to overuse this word, but you got him all discombobulated there. He's been hit a couple of times, and now he's really flustered, and now he's taken out of his offensive game as well.
And Ever looks focused. He doesn't look like he's intimidated at all. At first, he was a little timid just because of the size of this kid. But after he knocked him on his butt a couple times, he said, you know what? I'm going to charge after this kid and take him down.
You know what, though? I'm seeing some things in Ever as well. He drops his hands every time he kicks. And, you know, it's something that if you're going to be fighting Chago, you better be thinking about those things right now.
I was just going to say that if you're going to fight Chago, you keep your hands like that. He's going to catch you with that swooping right hook and knock you on your can there.
Oh, and his flashy kick there from Gutierrez as well. Little Chihuahua brought his own bag of tricks. And these guys are getting after it here in the first round.
What can Adam do to? I mean, does he just want to step inside Mike and get inside of Ever, or does he want to stay? I mean, obviously you're not going to want to stand out there and land and get those shots.
Gotta move your head. Your head's like a big block of cheese up there, waiting to be taken from Speedy Gonzalez here, and you got to move your head, otherwise it's just an easy target.
Well, it's a bloody block of cheese right now, Mike, because he's bleeding.
He is, and he's not happy about that first round. He probably expected bigger and better things. See you in your Crush Combat Cam, brought to you by Rocky Mountain Jeep Chrysler, where early on he did have some nice stuff, but then he got caught with a couple of shots and got knocked down.
Well, he was pretty mad, but I think it was just because his ponytail got knocked out. But that's about it.
Tony gets really mad. Our production guy gets mad when his ponytail comes apart too.
I've seen him freak out about that. But Ever did convincingly win that first round, wouldn't you say?
I've noticed guys with ponytails really have anger problems, haven't you?
Yeah, good thing I got a buzz cut.
Without question, Ever Gutierrez won the first round. In fact, decisively, probably a 10-8, maybe even possibly a 10-7 round with the 2 and 3 different knockdowns there. Very, very decisive victory in that first round for Ever Gutierrez.
Ever looks a little tired though, Mike. 2 minutes, man. I've seen Chago go 3 rounds.
I'll tell you what, absolutely. And he's got Shane Heavy Runner in there breathing in his face, and maybe it's a little hard to breathe.
Heavy Runner, we love you, man. You do a good job for us.
And, we picked up right where we left off. Ever Gutierrez comes out, has landed a couple more big shots. And Ethan Andrews, at this point, he's going to rule that a slip, but he's starting to look at these guys, and maybe he's going to call a stop here shortly. He's chewing them out for something. I'm not really sure what, but he didn't like what he just saw.
It looks like he kind of pushed off a little bit.
That's a good-looking kick, but it's telegraphed. You see it coming from yesterday. He's got to set it up with a jab or something and then throw it. He'd have more success.
It just seems like Adam is not really in the fight. I mean, he's throwing punches, but you're right. You could see him coming from a mile away, and Ever's just moving out of the way. He's 4 feet away from him.
This seems to be a sport karate fighter that's trying to transition into kickboxing. They've got all the tools. You just got to learn how to put it together and package it differently for a different sport.
Which is okay. I mean, if he wants to step in and do it, like we said, there's no better way to really test yourself than get in here and do it. And, he's not doing too bad of a job. He's doing okay, but he's getting hit.
He's certainly cleaner than a lot of the guys we've seen come in here. Again, you're seeing a little bit of fatigue come into play here. That was not ruled a knockdown. He was on the back of his heels and got kind of pushed there. Ethan Andrews is going to wipe off the gloves and get him started again.
How many times are they going to let it go if he continues to fall like that, Mike? Is it something that they'll stop it if he keeps slipping and falling? Will they just
if they're ruled knockdowns, there's a 3 knockdown rule. But if they're slipping and falling, Ethan Andrews is going to start looking at the totality of the situation. Is this guy defending himself, or is he kind of just a mess out there? Like this kind of sloppiness, Ethan's going to start looking at stopping this fight if this kid can't start producing a little more offense.
And I think that's what he's telling him right there. He's just saying, hey, don't fall down anymore. Don't fall down, or we're going to stop it.
I love watching Ethan's face during fights like this.
He's not very nice, is he?
He gets so frustrated.
Man, he is the grumpiest ref.
But, all in all, not a pretty action-packed fight here. And there's more pushing, more shoving, more missing. And Ethan Andrews seen enough. He's sending these guys home.
But with 4 seconds left.
Well, Ethan, maybe he's got a date tonight. Who knows?
Okay, all right. We'll let it go this time, Ethan. But next time, let him go into that 3rd round.
Maybe, yeah, who knows? But, it was a little excessive. These guys were getting a little sloppy there. And he's going to call an end to it to spare us all the rest of it.
It looks like Ever's happy, too, that he's stopped the fight.
Ever's out of here.
Yeah, he's out of
going to go back to the drawing board and get ready for Chago. You see here in your Crush Combat Cam, brought to you by Rocky Mountain Jeep Chrysler, where there were some great offensive techniques produced by this kid, but he just didn't know how to put them together for kickboxing. He didn't have any defense.
Well, hopefully he'll come back, Mike, and do this again. Concentrate more on kickboxing and karate. Come back in here and maybe rematch Ever in the future.
Yeah, you can see some great tools, and I really hope we do see Adam Abrams again. He's obviously in great shape. He's a good-looking kid, but I'll tell you what, Ever Chihuahua Gutierrez is moving on in the kickboxing ranks, and perhaps maybe a future date with Chago. Ever Gutierrez getting it done right there. Now let's take a look at a couple of bigger guys, Richard Truong and Travis White.
Always good to get kickboxing on the show, and when you got heavyweights, it makes it all the better. And remind me to ask Johnny about that 90-day same-as cash plan over at RC Willey.
It's always good to get a couple of former RC Willey employees into the ring and see if they still got what it takes to stop shoplifters.
Here comes Richard Truong. What do we know about Richard?
Well, we know that he used to work at RC Willey.
His brother did.
Well, really, we don't know a whole lot more about him than that. He just signed up for the tournament, and he says he wanted to get in here. He's one of those guys, watched it on TV, and feels like he's got what it takes to compete.
5'10", but 217 pounds. You see him coming in with a record of 0-0, making his first appearance as he steps through the ropes tonight. He is a kickboxer, and in his pre-fight interview, put a lot of emphasis on his kicks, not so much about his punching or striking abilities.
Well, I've always wanted to kickbox and maybe one day get the championship. Well, I have some pretty good leg kicks, some good punches, and I can also kick to the head. I'm going to beat him because I've trained hard for this. I've cut some pounds just to join this.
Well, just looking at it, he's got an uphill battle against this guy. And it's been a while since we've seen Travis, and he was never a small man, but it looks like he's put on some weight.
Travis has been in the gym training, and I know that. If it's weight, it's probably good weight because he's been doing a lot of cardio. But, you know, Travis has had his ups and downs, and I look to see him have a good performance tonight. Travis is really well prepared for this fight.
Pretty good matchup size-wise, 6 feet, 215 pounds. The Train is the nickname as he gets in here. And with this comeback tonight, he says he's kind of missed the one-on-one battle of Ultimate Combat.
What motivates me is, first and foremost, fitness. And secondly, this is the most primitive form of competition. You know, man against man in the ring. You don't have any help. It's not a team sport. And that's, you know, it's all based on you, what you can do for yourself, by yourself. Well, you know, everyone has a plan until they get hit. So, but actually my strategy is to keep it technical. I'm not going to wait. If he doesn't want to engage, I'm going to jump on him. You know, I'm gonna keep the combinations. I'm gonna try and work everything off my jab. Not too many people do that in this tournament, so you know I'm gonna keep the boxing roots in there for sure. To be honest with you, I lost my last fight to Killa, and I don't like the taste of defeat. Leaves a bad taste in my mouth, and to be honest, I came here to win. I will not be denied tonight.
Mike, it's interesting. You made reference to that phantom kick or punch or whatever it was in that last fight against Paya, and already you can tell it's still eating at Travis.
Well, he said he didn't like the taste of feet. It leaves a bad taste in his mouth, too. So I don't know if maybe he got kicked earlier in the fight.
That's what it was. He takes a good kick there, but throws a right hand over the top in the process. And there's a left hand that puts Truong down.
Truong took a big shot early on, and Ethan Andrews is going to step in here and give him a standing 8 count, and Travis White feeling pretty good about that.
He should. It didn't take long to get that done, just a matter of about 20 seconds, and we'll reset. And you see Travis come back with a couple of good front push kicks, and there's that left hand again.
Well, you can see the confidence level in Travis after that knockdown.
Oh, man. That'll end a fight, though, pretty quick right there.
That'll take the confidence right out of you. It'll take the wind out of you, too, and a couple other things. Boy, that was a low blow. And Travis White is feeling the pain right now.
He can't hardly stand up, and that's a big guy to try and keep on his feet. But he may take a little while to recover from this one. I don't know if we'll get a chance to see it on a replay, but 2 left hands from Travis that both made contact, both sent Truong down to the mat, and Truong found a way to get back at him. It's just not a legal punch or a blow.
Now, the rules here, Travis has 5 minutes to recuperate. It was an illegal blow. It was an unintentional illegal blow, so Travis has 5 minutes to recuperate. If he's able to get his bearings back about him, which it looks like he is, we'll get going again.
So right back to round number 1 with the time that had already elapsed. We started 1:24, and Travis comes right back out the way we ended stopped the fight a moment ago.
Well, he's coming back with newfound energy here. He's going to put this kid away before he takes another one. Well, he just took another one there, but he looks like he's going to fight his way through it, and he's going to try to put this kid away before he takes too much punishment below the belt.
Yeah, but speaking of taking punishment, Truong better find a defense to guard his head, or he's not going to have anything left to throw those kicks.
Well, Travis better learn how to block below the waist, or he's not going to be any fun at the after party, I'll tell you that.
All right. Well, they're both still here. And there's a kick that looked pretty low itself, and that might have been just because Travis didn't have the energy to get it up where it needed to be.
It was the battle of the low blows tonight, but I think Richard Truong, I think he's probably seen his fair share of this.
He doesn't know where he's at the moment.
And Travis White with a big win.
A big win, and as he mentioned in his pre-fight interview, he wanted to get the taste of that loss to Paya Lapali out of his mouth. Maybe this one will do it.
Going to get the taste of Lapali's feet out of his mouth. That's what he said. We see here in your Crush Combat Cam brought to you by Southern Exposure, where Truong had zeroed in, dialed in on that groin shot there, but that did nothing but make Travis White mad. Travis White made him pay for it.
Yeah, that front or that right-handed punch just found its target a couple of times, and Truong really paid the price. But there's a happy guy. He's back. The train is back on the tracks. Travis White with a victory here tonight at Ultimate Combat.
That's 2 weeks in a row we've seen Travis White knock somebody out, doing his thing right here in the UC. When we come back, Kofi Atsutu is going to knock Jack Montgomery in the next week. to the Ultimate Combat Experience now. As we said as we were going to the break, Jack Montgomery and Coach McLeod got together and they conspired. They thought they were going to come in and run over the top of Kofi Jiu-Jitsu. Well, Kofi had other things to say. Check it out.
You know what, Sal? Kofi do what Kofi does.
I'll second that one, Mike. I'll second that one.
Hey, and when you look like that, you just do what you does.
And you at where you at, and you be where you be.
What they gonna do about what you does if you do what you does? Little Rampage, 5'10", 185 is Kofi. I do what I does, Jiu-Jitsu. Little Rampage, man, he's been on a tear lately too. But I'm gonna tell you, this guy is a ringer. They brought the motor, Jack Montgomery, and he's a ringer.
Yeah, he seems
to
a little...
beat Kofi and to knock him off his pedestal.
Montgomery seems a little too soft-spoken to be a...
6 foot tall, 170 pounds. They call him the motor, but I know people brought in this guy to knock off that guy. And this is going to be a great match. And I'm telling you what, this is going to be a great match. I'm excited about it.
I tell you what, Mike, Kofi better get used to that because of the terror ride that Kofi's been taking people on. There's going to be just more ringers to follow this.
They're going to come out of the woodwork to fight Kofi so he can't do what he does.
Look at the head movement already by Kofi.
Oh, shizzle nizzle.
Montgomery a little feely, little touchy.
Little touchy-feely going on in the early goings here. Round number 1.
Kofi looking to do what he do, and that's put you right up against the cage.
Nice takedown, but I understand Montgomery's got a hell of a guard, and you might not want to find yourself in this guard for too long. You see right there, doing a great job. Yeah, climbing up the body, and he's already looking for something.
Yeah, Montgomery looks real well-rounded in his jiu-jitsu game. He's got Kofi in rubber guard, and that right there is hard to get out of, Mike.
Not if you're Kofi, because Kofi do what Kofi does. Hey, here's the thing: Kofi's a very strong individual, and he's a really accomplished wrestler. People don't realize that he took second in state, and that was the first year he had ever wrestled. You know, I mean, this kid is an athlete. Got an armbar on Jack Montgomery, though. Kofi might be in a little bit of trouble here.
Hey, Montgomery's saying, hey, if you want to hang out in my guard all day long, this is not the thing to do, because I tell you what, I'm going to put you in an armbar or something.
Yeah, Kofi better get a little more active up on top, because Jack Montgomery obviously is very accomplished on the ground, and looks like he's just looking for that opportunity. Look at that. Wow, another armbar.
I tell you what, if I was Kofi, I'd be looking to get the heck out of there, Mike, if he could get past this one right here.
You know what he's doing? He's punching his way out of those, and that's nice work, but man, you can only do that for so long.
Yeah, you only got 9 lives in this sport, in this game of quick felines, Mike. And we'll see where it takes Kofi here as he's in rubber again.
How composed is this Jack Montgomery, man? He's just taking his time. He's setting things up, and that one didn't work, so I'm going to move on to the next.
It's almost a little eerie how comfortable he is.
Yeah.
Especially the way Kofi's raining down them hammer fists on him. Montgomery's just like, okay, I got something for you here. Got a little plan for you.
Good looking stuff. And he's already looking for another armbar and tried to transition. Nice little hammer fist to the head there. Kofi said, you know what? You want to try to submit me? I'm just going to pound on your face.
He's pissed now, Mikey.
You didn't want to.
He's mad now. He's like a mad gorilla in there, Mikey, landing lefts, rights, and another left. Just barely missed the top of Montgomery's head on that one.
Did you just call him a gorilla?
He's a mad gorilla, Mike. He's a mad gorilla.
You can't say that, man.
Hey, forget
I know
that.
People get fired from television.
I seen Kofi pull out a tree with his bare hand one time. That is no lie. That's how strong this kid is.
Kofi is my man. I just want you to know. Kofi is my guy. 30 seconds left in the round, and Kofi, he did go a little bonkers a minute ago. Went a little ape.
Hey, the guy tried to break his arm like 4 times. I'd be one angry individual myself.
Look at the strength on this kick slam.
Oh, man, he's unconscious.
Man. Wow.
Was it the Rampage slam that knocked him unconscious, Mikey? Or the 3 hammer fists that followed?
Oh, my goodness. Kofi did what Kofi does right there. What a powerhouse move. My goodness. Jack Montgomery's out. He's still out. He's still counting sheep.
He's counting sheep.
He's counting gorillas. Kofi Jiu-Jitsu. Wow, these guys.
Even this kid
these
is
upper guys, they don't like Kofi. These guys, Chance, they don't like Kofi.
Bam.
You know what?
That was it. The slam knocked him out.
Oh man, Kofi was beating drums right there.
The slam. That's what did it. And then big.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Oh man, I could watch this over and over again. Matter of fact, hit rewind.
Oh my goodness.
Is that Antonio Banderas?
Antonio Banderas' midget little brother. Oh, wow. That was impressive stuff. Kofi's got to feel good about that because I'm telling you, Jack Montgomery's a tough kid. He just beat a tough kid.
Maybe that's an example right there. You get a little bit too relaxed on there. No matter how crafty you are, man, you got to watch your noggin.
Wow. Lesson learned. I'll tell you that right now. Lesson learned. Very impressive. Great night of fights out here in Elko, though. Kofi capping it off with a very impressive victory right there.
What a fight to top it off.
Absolutely.
Mike.
And all we heard for months was Jack Montgomery boo-hooing about that. Well, Kofi was just too good for you. When we come back, Sal Sanchez is going to do his thing. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. As promised, Salvador Sanchez coming off last round winning the kickboxing title here in the Ultimate Combat Experience. Now he's shifting gears into MMA, going for his first MMA title, heavyweight division. Check it out.
Yeah, here we go indeed. Nate Buehring really wanted a piece of Sal Sanchez. Did he know what he was asking for?
Well, he won his first fight with a big one-punch knockout, and Salvador Sanchez is actually looking to make history here, as we mentioned. He's going to be, if he wins this fight, of course, the first person to win it ever in both kickboxing and NHB divisions.
Nate Buehring, though, really has not been tested, and you can count on the fact that he'll be tested with this one here tonight.
He's a good kid here. He's a good kid. He has a bit of a martial arts background, so he's fought before. We'll see how he matches up against the skilled Salvador Sanchez.
And, of course, as we've said before, too, there you see the tail of the tape on Nate, 6'2", 270 pounds, a boxer, Mr. Nasty, out of Orem, Utah. It's a whole different thing to get here in front of an E-Center crowd.
Things off, and then he finished it with some knees, as you mentioned.
That knee did it, too, and then he continued to throw punches here, and there's another one that takes Buehring down, and then he gives up his back and quick to tap.
Salvador Sanchez, he's happy with that victory. Again, it's an unprecedented thing that he just did. He won a title in both kickboxing and NHB. What's next for him?
Congratulations to the Killa.
For a couple big guys, you saw a lot of action in that one, but Sal Sanchez coming away with the cup. Now, as we promised at the first of the show, when we come back, the Bird Dog and the Razor are going to mix it up in your main event. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. As promised, the Bird Dog and the Razor have a long, long history. Well, this is right where it began in your main event. Check it out.
Because a bird lives in the cage and he always comes out for the night time, and that's the right time. Because the Bird Dog will smoke a pound of green and still kick his ass like a crack fiend. Because what's up with the Razor? Huh?
And I'll tell you what, you talk about two guys that are well-matched just in this sense, Mike. Willing to stand and trade, hand speed, and just this energy that they bring to the ring. This ought to be a good one.
These guys love to fight. They love everything about the fights. Before the fights, after the fights, during the fights, these guys love to fight. What most people don't know is that Steve Sharp actually knits those hats himself.
Yes, he does. And a nice job. Usually throws it out in the crowd before we get started. 5'9", 170. He did a little posing there for fans and now runs into the cage, and he's ready to go tonight. Of course, I've never seen a night when Razor wasn't ready to go. Does his little dance around the ring, and I'm guessing we'll see that from Birdsley also coming up in just a little while. But let's see what Razor had to say about taking on this guy sponsored by a chiropractor.
Hey everyone, my name's Steven Razor Sharp. I'm here to fight James Birdsley, or Bird Dog, for the middleweight championship. I'm defending my title. Really excited we actually get a cage to fight in, and I'm excited about the belt, so give me a belt. I'm glad Bird Dog has a sponsor, and it's even better that he's got a chiropractic sponsor. He's talking about me needing it, but who's sponsored by him? Obviously, he's looking to get some discounts and things there, so after the fight, he'll either have to get his nose fixed or he'll have to get his back fixed. I don't really have a message for Bird Dog, but I have a message for everyone else that's out there that's hungry for Thanksgiving. Definitely come down to the East Center and watch the Razor cut up some Birdsley.
That's a great line from Razor. I don't think they do nose adjustments at the chiropractor, do they?
No, but this Birdsley kid needs a nose adjustment.
Look at that face.
You know, your mom says your face is going to stay like that if you do it for too long, and his actually did, man. I've never seen him when he's not just mad and ready to go.
That's either his tough face or he smells something. 5 foot 10 inches tall, 168 pounds, and I told you you'd see some fun when he gets in the ring. Watch this.
He's got to go number 2.
This looks like the Bird Dog when he knows he's getting ready to go out on the hunt. Boy, you can't keep him in the back seat. You can't put him in the bed of the truck.
There's a lot of bounce going on in the ring tonight, baby.
Look at him pushing him back into that other side of the ring.
Even his corner's bouncing around. These guys are hyped up and ready to go.
Oh, look out!
Oh, baby, this guy's ready to go. This stuff is exciting. I like this kid.
Don't waste it all here, Birdsley. You still got to fight the Razor.
This is the Bird Dog, James Birdsley. I'm going to be fighting for the middleweight championship against the Razor. I'm going to go ahead and show him what a dog-eat-dog world is like. And the dog's there for hunting. Gonna go get that bird, twist him up with the chiropractics. I only saw one fight once, and he kind of does the triangle choke is what I saw him win with. Just gonna go out there and you know, and just do some takedowns, but I'm not gonna go on the ground. I don't mess with the ground stuff. Who's on my hit list? You know, I see the Razor and the Melendez talking, and just both of them.
It's kind of funny how Razor's become synonymous with that triangle choke, and his opponents always come in saying, he won't be able to do that to me tonight.
Wow,
and inevitably, it happens.
Steve Sharp can beat you in so many different ways. He just so happens when you give him a triangle choke, he's going to put it on you. These guys are ready to get after him, boy. And these guys, hey, Steve Sharp lands a big kick right off the bat, sends Birdsley to the canvas.
And you know what? You got to step in here.
That fight's over with.
Man,
and,
5 shots right to the face of Birdsley.
Birdsley is not going to be happy about that. Ethan Andrews trying to keep Steve Sharp down. Steve Sharp wants to give up and let his fans see what happened there. What a great job. He's such an exciting kid. He won this fight in convincing fashion. Birdsley's not happy about it, but you've got to stop that, as you mentioned.
Well, you know what? Birdsley came out looking for the same thing we did. He was looking for those punches, and so what does Razor do? He comes out and starts with an effective kick.
And you know, when you get shocked like that, that's what mixed martial arts is. We're not just a bunch of thugs in here beating each other up. You got caught with a shot, you were getting hurt, and the referee's going to step in and stop it. Birdsley, come back and do this thing again, because I know you'll do well.
Look at that. He's upset that they stopped the fight. He won't be when he sees this on UPN, I guarantee it. Right now, he thinks it was a quick stoppage. You call it for yourself. There's the kick.
See you in your Crush Combat Cam, brought to you by Mountain High Motorsports, where if you've got your hands down around your waist, you deserve to get what you take. And he got a big kick there, and then some big punches afterward.
3, 4, 5 shots before Ethan stepped in, and Birdsley was quick to get on his feet, but he was in trouble there. There's no doubt about it, and the safety of our fighters is always the most important thing to us, and so Ethan did the right thing there.
And Steve Sharp does it for the fans once again, but again, this is one of the situations where the cage didn't give you anywhere to go, and you were stuck there.
See Razor going around showing his respect to Birdsley's corners there. Birdsley still not happy about this, and unfortunately that pink knit kind of faded into his hair there. But he's got a belt to go along with the hairdo tonight.
And he's happy about it, Tim, and rightfully so, because he beat a pretty tough kid tonight. Well, if you follow the Ultimate Combat Experience for any length of time, you know the history between those two, and it just got started right there. Went on for a long, long time. In fact, it's still going on in many ways. Well, next week, we've got more knockouts we're going to bring your way. I hope you join us next week. I'm Mike Stidham. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week on the Ultimate Combat Experience.